You say you don't know where the macho man is coming from? Ain't nothing is gonna stop me. Nothing's gonna stop me. Find out how insane I am, yeah!
HP, damage, hitbox. Heroic Baleroc. Macho Man is going to give you a run for your money. Too long didn't watch? Good luck. Split your healers into two groups, an odd and an even. One initially healing torments, the other initially healing the tanks. 30 seconds into the fight, you will swap roles. Every 45 seconds, you will then swap roles. Do that the entire fight. Make 3 groups of designated soakers for the shards. 2 people paired per shard. A total of 4 per set of shards, unless you have a Shadow Priest, then 2 to a shard, and the Shadow Priest solo on their own. Blow Dispersion at the 21st stack, wink wink. If you have taken a turn soaking Torment from a crystal, avoid everyone until your debuff falls off. Periodically, 2 people in your raid will get an ability called Countdown, tethering them together. They must meet up within 8 seconds or the raid goes boom. If you're healing, let them come to you. If they have Tormented, try to have them inch toward you, as to not spread the buff and still dispel Countdown. If you're both really far away, run to meet each other. 2 tanks. Inferno Tank. Decimation Tank. Decimation Tank starts, getting 3 stacks. Inferno Tank takes it full time from there. Zug the boss down in 6 minutes or you die. Now, for a detailed explanation on this fight. This Macho Man looking ass boss has a weird melee gimmick, and I don't mean the obvious. He attacks with a 2-hander, but he attacks in a pattern as if he's dual wielding, with his odd attacks being strong and his even attacks being weak. Every 8 seconds, however, the obvious, he applies a debuff to his main target called Blaze of Glory, increasing your maximum health by 20%, but also increasing the physical damage you take by 20%. This plays into a fair amount of his gimmicks and gets kinda complex.
Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah!
But you do want your off-tank to get enough stacks of these to be over 250k health. Your main tank will be soaking the rest of these. The reason behind that health pool necessity lies in his ability called Empower Blade. 30 seconds in and every 47 seconds after this point, he will utilize Empowered Blade. The very first one, guaranteed, will always be Inferno Blade, even though it says it is straight fire damage. It actually ramps damage every time that he has cast Blazing Glory, meaning that your main tank should be the only tank to ever take this. Your off tank with minimalistic stacks of Blaze of Glory will just get dropped by this. The more stacks of Blaze of Glory you get, the more your health pool is on par of surviving it. Unlike with the attack speed of his Schrodinger's dual wield normal attacking, this follows his true attack speed where he attacks every 2.4 seconds, as opposed to 1.2. He commits this attack 6 times over the course of 15 seconds. You can roll dodge, you can roll parry. This cannot miss. It also says it cannot block, but that's TBD. Nope, that's straight BS. Shield tanks are perfectly fine.
A total fabrication.
DK's absorb heal tanking, Druid's evasion tanking. All damage taken reduction abilities work on this attack. Generally just going to be relying on your CD rotation and healers, or you're an independent blood DK who don't need no help. The flip side of the empowered weapon is Decimating Blade. If Inferno Strike is a good old mollywop, then Decimation Strike is the people's elbow. This will at bare minimum take away 90% of your health. If you don't have at least 250,000 health, it'll outright kill you.
Ooh, yeah!
Over the course of 15 seconds, this strike happens 4 times. It is modified to have his attack speed reduced while it is active. It is that strong. Post buff, the melee slow is gone. This swings for 6 times instead of 4. It cannot miss. Damage taken reduction does not work. Resist don't work. You are solely relying on 3 factors: to roll dodge, to roll parry, or to have the health to survive the strike. If you have 50% avoidance, flip a coin 4 times. On top of the 3-second windows, that's your leeway to heal through this. That's tank duty. Let's move on to the raid duty, so then we can explain the healing duty. 6 seconds in, and every 34 seconds after, Baleroc will spawn 2 Shards of Torment. One will favor within melee range of the boss. The other will favor at someone at range, if there is enough range to meet the range criteria. It will spawn in the hitbox of these 2 selected players, where they were initially standing. Over the course of 4 seconds, a purple light will jettison from the ground indicating where it's going to spawn. After that, it becomes active. As it spawns, it does a 1-yard knockback if the player hasn't moved from where it has spawned, and tethers to the closest person within 15 yards of it. Over its lifespan, it will commit to a total of 26 stacks to whoever it's tethered to. You could do like 18 and 8, take all 26 if you're a Shadow Priest, by timing Dispersion on the 21st stack to ride out the final tick. Oh, I forgot to mention a tick. It does 4,000. It does 5,000 per tick, arbitrarily scaling to 30,000 plus when it hits 20. And it does not phase in the least the beast, the Shadow Priest. This is resistible and can be mitigated by damage taken reduction. However, immunities are off the table and do nothing. There's significant value in the stacks that I will soon get to. Whenever somebody else gets closer to the shard, or the last application has applied to you, the debuff of Torment will ride for 2 seconds, and then turn into Tormented. This means if you are swapping off with somebody else, all you have to do is run past them if they are near you while you have Torment. And you have a 2-second window to get away from them before it turns into Tormented. Tormented increases the magic damage that you take, making it so that you cannot soak a shard without being in danger of dying. Every half second, this is pulsating from your person, and will afflict other people with Tormented if you are within 1.5 yards of them. Added effect, this reduces all healing done by 50%. Spreading this to anyone is bad, as it removes potential candidates to soak if countdown happens on certain people. What is significantly awful about this is if it is spread to healers, as they have one hell of a job to do. Them getting this would make the fight so much harder. This lasts for a full minute. You and those around you should be mindful not to make plays that would spread this debuff. A callback to Brutalis. I'm going to show this example. They did everything right, what they were supposed to do exactly, and it still screwed them. Cleansing countdown at 4 yards. Problem. It also spread Torment, which either means the server perceiving position update is jank, and you have to cleanse countdown on tormented people by running parallel to them, instead of directly at them. Or the tormented spread script is straight lying on its yardage. I'm leaning toward the former, but TBD. What if someone dies tethered to the shard, and no one's in range to catch? Well, waves of torment will chain fire off until either your raid's dead or somebody gets close enough to tether again. 30 seconds in and every 45 seconds after, there is this debuff called Countdown, where 2 people in the raid will be tethered together. If they do not meet up within 4 yards of each other, after 8 seconds have passed, they will blow up, doing damage to the entire raid. This in tandem with Torment and Tormented means that you have to be very mindful of how you play it out, where your position is. You don't want to be excessively far. The more I go on about this, the more this sounds like COVID. Balance. Not too far, not too close. And this is where we get into the healing segment. Now, why is Tormented beneficial? Every time a healer does a single target heal on somebody with the debuff Torment, they get a stack of something called Vital Spark. The first 1 to 9 stacks of Torment give 1 buff of Vital Spark. Every increment of 5 gives an additional spark, which is why you can see a situation where a Shadow Priest having 26 Torment stacks is beneficial for healers to pad the buff. Vital Spark converts and unconverts into a buff called Vital Flame. When healing one of the tank targets with Blaze of Glory, it activates the buff portion for the next 15 seconds. All the healing that they do to targets with Blaze of Glory is increased by 5% for each stack of Vital Spark they had prior. After that 15 seconds has elapsed, that bonus healing goes away off this tank and converts back into the spark count that they had prior. While Vital Flame is active, they cannot acquire any new stacks of Vital Spark until that buff is gone. This buff cannot be cancelled to do so prematurely, so you have to have designated healing groups, where one group will have uptime on the Torment stacks, the other group will have uptime on the tanks, and they will switch intermittently. It should look something like 30 seconds in, Group A is healing tanks, Group B is healing Torment. The next 45 seconds, Group B is healing tanks, Group A is healing Torment, switching every 45 seconds. I've mapped this to cover the empowered blades. If you feel like altering the time is more beneficial to you, do so. This is not in stone. There is some interesting interaction with some of the heals. If a Holy Paladin beacons the tanks and heals tormented people, it won't trigger flame and you're free to acquire sparks while also covering the tanks and the torment. A Disc Priest Penance will acquire a stack of spark for every ball of penance that hits. This is great at early stages of Torment, but as Torment stacks beyond 15, you will not get multiple stacks of spark for each missile of penance. Glyph Powered Shield is treated as a single target heal and will give you full benefit of whatever the stack count is. Additionally, there are a plethora of interactions that I don't know and feel free to inform. There is jank tech with the melee shard on Baleroc. It requires the bulk of your melee to Q and E in and out of the range of the shard beam. When Torment does damage, the first 2 ticks are the same amount, treated as 1 stack. So as they're zipping past each other, taking 1 or 2 stacks, they will only ever take, when they're tormented, 25 to 50,000 shadow damage. It makes it so that the melee shard is covered, but the people healing the melee shard have the potential to get cucked on spark stacks. The other frustrating addition is that this bulk of people, if any of them get countdown, increase the chance of spreading it to whoever has countdown. If that ends up being a healer, you increase the chance to cripple a healer even further. Can you do it with this strategy? Absolutely. This can be used as a backup measure anyway between 2 people when shards do get screwed up. If you're okay with the pros and cons of the strategy, go for it. I've given you what I have observed so far. It's pretty much the fight in a nutshell. The only cooldown usage you can really utilize is on high torment targets or the Inferno Blade tank. Divine Shield stacks works pretty well. Pray for your decimation tank. If you've climbed your spark stack to the top of the mountain, you can keep your tanks from getting snapped into like a Slim Jim. The sky's the limit. Cream of the crop. I need to stop. Macho Madness is coming back with a vengeance. That's Baleroc. Don't die 30 times. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Here are the things and stuff I have used. I like Alando. You should check him out. He's good at the game, and he has funny moments. Here are links to support me. And I will see you again soon. TM.